here a little bit by starting it up like this.
This team will never lose again.
So we're just going to say, like, if we pick you as a preseason award winner, you're a winner. And if we don't, some of you might think of that as a loser. But hey, you know, we're not splitting hairs here. Dennis, what order do you want to go in for these?
Let's see. We have a lot of different categories. We'll pick Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, ACC Champion, biggest ACC surprise, and also might be the most disappointing team in the ACC. Let's actually, we're gonna go a little interesting route. Give me your ACC Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I think this one, Coach of the Year, more so than any other award, is kind of narrative driven.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Will Wade. I'm going Will Wade at NC State.
Yeah.
I think you need to have a dramatic improvement year over year, and I think they will based on who they've brought in. I think there's already a narrative building that he's this, instigator, this shake-up guy that's coming in and taking names, and as long as they are top 5 in the ACC, I think he has a good chance to win the award, especially because like Pat Kelsey last year kind of got that if they're good now, it's not a surprise at Louisville. If obviously if Duke's good, it's not a surprise. If UNC wins, even if it's a big improvement, it's like, yeah, but you're UNC, you're supposed to. State has a little bit of the underdog mentality, and I think that's kind of a requirement for this award. So give me Will Wade.
All right, I'm with you on that one. Will Wade, like you said, a lot of it's narrative driven. I also gave consideration to Ryan Odom at Virginia.
Interesting. Because
if Virginia can have a bounce back. Again, no Tony Bennett last year because he elected to retire just before the season started. I can see if he can get UVA to turn back around fast, I can see Ryan Odom potentially as well.
And any of the new coaches are obviously in the mix if there's a dramatic improvement. And with the transfer portal, you never really know which team's going to pop out of nowhere. So a couple different options.
All right, so that's ACC Coach of the Year. You and I both have Will Wade of NC State. Let's go with, there's a lot of incoming freshmen. Let's go Rookie of the Year in the ACC.
ACC Rookie of the Year, I'm going Caleb Wilson, UNC.
Really?
I think part of it is narrative-driven in that he's not being mentioned in the same conversations as some of the other freshmen. And I think UNC is going to depend on him a lot for a bunch of different reasons. I think his defense is going to be stellar, and I think he brings an offensive skill set that is underrated right now. So Caleb Wilson.
Okay, I'm going to go Cameron Boozer because I think –
probably a betting favorite, I'd assume.
I'm going to tip my hand on my conference champion, but I think he's going to be the top guy on the best team in the ACC. That's going to lean a lot of votes towards him. But you had me convinced. I was like, do I go Caleb Wilson?
I mean, 5-star, 8th overall recruit, 6'10", 6'11", can run, can jump with the best of them on a team that doesn't have too many they have other very good players, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's not like they have a bunch of other super hypey players that'll take away all that.
Yeah, he's going to be the wow player probably. Whereas Duke might have a couple.
Yep.
For sure. Maybe even 3. All right, so that's ACC Rookie of the Year. We've done Coach of the Year. Let's actually go and get into your biggest surprise in the ACC this upcoming year.
Speaking of players at Duke that might be stars.
Okay.
I'm putting Isaiah Evans as the biggest surprise.
Really?
I don't know if people remember, he wasn't even starting last. Do you remember at the beginning of last year? He was getting DNP, did not play coaches' decisions.
Yeah.
By the end, I mean, flamethrower from 3, during certain parts where Cooper Flagg was not playing due to injury, Isaiah Evans was one of their main guys. I think he's due for a huge step up. I think he's an all-ACC first-team guy. I'm a big fan. He's one of the, when we started up the Dean's List, it was kind of right at the beginning of the season last year, right at the beginning of sports season last year. He was one of the first, he's on the Dean's List a lot because he just kept doing things that I like. Most of those were coming in at the end of blowouts and knocking down shots and being ready, cold off the bench until eventually he was playing more minutes. I think he's going to be a leader for that Duke team.
Mine's actually going to be Pitt under Coach Capel.
Oh, you went with the team.
I went with the team as my surprise. They're picked to finish 14th in the ACC.
Capel doesn't finish 14th very often.
No, he doesn't. And this is, again, that's a program that was just in the NCAA tournament just a couple of years ago. And actually you could argue, was pushing for a spot last year. I don't see that program under Capel falling all the way down to 14th in the ACC. I just don't see it. So, surprise, Pitt. I actually even predicted at ACC tip-off that they'd make the NCAA tournament.
I hope they do because I don't know. I think they're better than 14th. I don't know if they're better than 8th or 9th. And I'd like them to make the NCAA tournament as 8th or 9th because that means the ACC is cruising.
I agree. All right, biggest disappointment in the ACC?
I'm going Louisville. Now, I will fully admit that this might be a little local bias, right?
Okay.
But what I really think it is I'm terrified of teams that live and die by the portal. I'm getting strange versions, and I don't think it'll be this bad because basketball is a different sport, but getting strange versions of like Florida State football where they hit the transfer portal wildly aggressive and it worked. They hit on like every single player. So they went back and hit the portal aggressively again, got 3 of the top guys. And if it just doesn't fit together, no matter how good they are individually, if it doesn't fit together, it could lead to a disappointment. So I think they're picked, second in most places in the ACC. I don't think they're finishing 14th, but if they finish outside the top 4, if they don't have that, double super duper awesome bye in the ACC tournament, I could see that being a huge disappointment. So it's gonna be Louisville.
I said Louisville as well.
Really?
I
thought I was doing something cool there.
No, it's fine. For that exact along those same lines, they came out of nowhere last year, so the expectation for them is to just sustain that. Pat Kelsey has to prove that he can sustain that at Louisville. Like you said, they might finish 5th or 6th in the conference, still an NCAA tournament team, but they got 15 first-place votes. 15. Yeah. Duke got 34. I think the disappointment based off expectations, Louisville, I'm right there with you. All right, let's go with before we get to player of the year, let's go to your ACC champion.
Yeah, I wanted to think different here. Duke. I'm not even saying like I didn't want to pick Duke. I like to think outside the box, and then there's betting favorite and all that sort of stuff. But every time you do, you find something that you like about another team. You go, yeah, but I think Duke might do that better. And then you find something that you like more about this team, and you go, yeah, but Duke might do that better. I think they're complete. I think John Shire has the program going in the right direction. I think they recruited obviously exceptionally well. Didn't hit the portal for like the key guys like they did last year with Sion James, but Malik Brown still kind of being a remnant of that. Caleb Foster being a veteran. I think they'll be all right. And in a weird way, and this is not an insult to the Cooper Flags of the world, Cam Boozer seems like an older freshman. Caden Boozer seems like an older freshman. Just they seem like maybe they don't need the vet's arm around their shoulder as much. So give me Duke to be the ACC champion.
Yeah, I'm with you. Most talented roster, Duke. It's pretty straightforward. And final one here, Tim. Give me your ACC player of the year.
This is going to be really weird because I picked Caleb Wilson as my rookie of the year.
Okay.
I'm going Cam Boozer, player of the year.
Interesting.
This is 100% just diversifying my portfolio. I think they could each win. They could each both individually win both of these awards. So I'm spreading my money on the roulette table, hoping more to find one winner. I was going to put one of them as player of the year, one of them as rookie of the year. Caleb Wilson and Cam Boozer. I think it's going to be an old school Duke Carolina. When they play, it'll be a premier matchup because those two, they're same position. Both are going to have the ball in their hands a ton. I think they're going to guard each other. I'm looking forward to like one of those matchups, if you know what I'm getting at there. Like Rashad McCants, JJ Redick, right? Just one of those.
Williams from NC State. Darian Williams, NC State. Because like you said earlier, when we picked our coach of the year, we both said Will Wade.
Yep.
If Will Wade is coach of the year, that means in my eyes, this NC State team is finishing in the top 4 in the ACC. And in order to do that, he is their best player.
He's the preseason ACC player.
He is the preseason player of the year in the conference. He has to play at that level in order for this team to be a top 4 team in the ACC. In order for Will Wade to win coach of the year, in my eyes, that means State's finishing top 4 in the conference, and it's all because of Darian Williams. Not all because, but he's the catalyst. Like, he's the engine that's going to drive that team. Darian Williams,
I think, has the highest floor in the entire conference. Mm-hmm. Like, he is the most guaranteed to get, like, 16-9. And then he might get 20-10, but he's most guaranteed to get 16-9. Talking with him at ACC tip-off, he was pretty set on going to the NBA. And it didn't end up happening. He ends up coming back, going to NC State, obviously. And I asked him, well, what does the NBA want to see? And he was like, well, I let my body get away. I want to get in better shape. So what you're getting is an all Big 12 stud from Texas Tech that almost went pro and then got himself in better shape. So, and is playing for Will Wade, who I think we're all pretty high on. So there's a lot of good there for Darian Williams. There's not, there's probably 4 or 5 guys that aren't bad picks for Player of the Year, which is why I diversified my portfolio and got 2 of them. Anything else we have to pick there?
No,
I think we're good.